Sorry this is as late as it is. I had a bit of a problem with my audio, with my camera audio and all that shit. So yeah. Anyway, getting right into it. One thing I personally loved about this episode is how, picking up after the episode from 2 weeks ago, we basically get to see Kaido collecting himself and just mentally piecing together like what just happened to him. How did Luffy manage to land a blow on him? Which honestly is one thing I'm kind of glad the anime is doing more than the manga, giving us more vivid picture of Kaido's perspective. Because, well, I'm not going to say the manga necessarily made Kaido as arrogant. Just seeing little moments of reflection like that do a lot more to illustrate how, even though on the outset that he appears to still be underestimating Luffy, just that single punch from Luffy as well also was enough for him to at least recognize Luffy as a threat, and yet still leaving enough room in order to illustrate that even though Luffy's gotten stronger, he still needs to work on his awareness, as shown when he just barely dodged Kaido's Bagua, and even let himself get distracted by Zoro intercepting Big Mom, showing that yeah, he's gotten stronger, but it's function in a lot of the other skills that the other skills in the heat of battle, the ones that you can't learn through that you have to kind of that you can't just teach yourself. You have to kind of learn yourself. That he still needs to. Those are the skills he still needs to sharpen. And his awareness in battle is one of them. That he can't afford to just leave without understand. Is that he just can't leave open. It's an easy weakness to exploit. But and yeah, pretty much beyond that point, the rest of the episode is Luffy, Law, Kid getting into a bit of a pissing contest about who's in charge. But I do want to talk about the initial moment between Law chewing Luffy out for not treating him as an equal, because on one hand, even though it is a bit of an ego trip on Law's part and honestly played for laughs, there is, I'm not gonna lie and say it isn't, what Law says to Luffy isn't justified either, because what he's saying because the thing is, if you think about it, the entire time Luffy has been kind of treating Law like he would his own crew, and just not understanding what it really means to be an alliance. If you really look at all of Luffy's actions up to this point, even in Wano itself, he's kind of Luffy has never really Luffy has just kind of treated Law just like any other, in the same way he would treat his crew, which that don't get me wrong, Luffy's going to be Luffy. He's always going to do what he feels is right. But the thing is, he's never treated Law like an equal. He's never really actually tried to understand what it is Law is trying to do in a moment, or what he's trying, or even asking Law what it is that's going on. It's one of those things where Luffy's impulsiveness just hasn't really. Luffy's been too impulsive in order to really treat Law like he's supposed to be. He's Law is a captain, but Luffy hasn't been treating him like that, and when both people are in an alliance and are captains, there is a certain demand of certain mutual respect. But up to this point, Luffy really hasn't given Law any of that mutual respect in order to either confide in him, or just ask, or just understand how he operates, what his plans are. It's always Luffy's got a plan, he's going to go forward with it without even thinking. It is interesting how that's finally addressed, though, in this episode. Now, on the other end of that spectrum, one thing I wasn't particularly fond of was the addition of inner Sanji, or whatever you want to call what we saw in this episode, with the manifestation of Sanji's lustful thoughts when Maria was tempting him in every turn. And look, we've been down this road before. We've known Sanji's code, to never hit a woman. That's something ingrained in the character since the beginning of the series. and maybe to a degree since then Oda has taken it a bit too far at times. But honestly, this is for me. This is an episode where where it's one of those things where it's one of those episodes where even where Sanji, where I feel Toei might be a little bit more guilty than Oda of flanderizing Sanji, because like even though both are technically guilty of flanderizing the character, with Oda, it's small incidents here and there in an arc that largely that you can learn. Honestly, you can kind of wave off in certain respects, or just say, okay, it's just gonna, okay, whatever, it happened. It's probably gonna happen again, but it only it happens like when you really look at it in the broad spectrum. When Oda does it, it happens in in a lot of few and far between moments. But with Toei, it's kind of worse, because it feels like they're playing up Sanji's lust, like comedic lustful side, for the sake of comedy relief. And let me tell you, in the way Toei handles this side of Sanji, it really messes with the tone and really what we're supposed to feel in this moment. Like don't get me wrong, like in the manga's version of this whole confrontation, for again, I need to illustrate, for pretty much however guilty Oda is of playing up Sanji's pervy side, that he managed to do that while balancing this real sense of dread from Sanji, and how there was this genuine feeling that he could possibly die at the hands of Maria. But here, we get a little bit of that, but it's largely just played up for the laughs, and saying, for the laughs, and the whole comedic, and the whole comedic lustful side of Sanji, and which undercuts just how serious we're supposed to take the scene that Sanji is possibly going to die in this situation. So it's like the serious side with the anime, the serious side kind of gets a little bit undercut by the comedic side, whereas with Oda, for however much he does do this, it feels a little more balanced. And now, with that said, from what we get in the serious tone, and for the serious moment we get with Sanji, I do gotta give props to Sanji for finding the alternative way that does allow him to fight back. And I do also love how we get to see Maria emotionally tormenting Sanji, and just really forcing him into a situation of how much does that conviction to not hitting women really, how much does he really hold on to that conviction? And so, but again, it's one of those things where the scene itself feels a little bit messed up because of how things play out. With that said, I want to talk art and animation, because as I expected, it was just like with episode 1015, the art and animation was again off the charts. But one area I thought I really kind of got attracted to particularly, and thought was really great, is how the episode would transition from the moment of an attack to its aftermath, and just the little details, like little specks of lighting and color, or just how it portrayed the line and flash of impact. It really gave that extra punch to the action, and especially showing that, yeah, the Yonko hit hard. They are monsters. There's a reason they're considered the strongest pirates in the Grand Line. And while a little funky on the artwork side of things, when we get the actual start of Luffy, Law and Kid actually activating their abilities, all that shit, and preparing for battle, the fluidity of motion just in those single actions definitely built the hype at the same time. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just share the video around, guys. Dark Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, everyone.